Hello everyone, ciao, and welcome back to my channel. Now, it's been a while since I filmed a sit-down chatty video, but I feel like I'm doing too many vlogs, so let me just sit down and talk. Let me stop blabbing, let me just get on to the actual point of this video. A while ago, really ages ago, I asked on my Instagram for people to send in their questions about what you wanted to know about Oxford. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into a sort of two-part video. So one specifically about Oxford and then one specifically about medicine. So I'm just going to answer some of the questions, go through, see my opinions, speak my mind, you know, why not? So yeah, hope you enjoy. First question, my favourite place to just chill. So understandably, Oxford is a very busy place in terms of work, but when it comes to me relaxing, obviously pre-COVID I would just go to a restaurant with some mates, I'd go to uni parks or just chill with one of my friends in their rooms in the evening. However, because it's now COVID, we're in lockdown right now, the best place for me to chill is literally in the corridor with my mates in one of our rooms in my household and just enjoy the evening, because restaurants are closed, non-essential shops are closed, so all we can really do is vibe in our rooms, which is aight, but what can you do? Anyway, next question is, where are the best study spots? Now in Oxford we're really lucky, we've got quite a few libraries. Pre-COVID I'd work in my college library, so not an option right now. However, there are other libraries in Oxford that are open, so for example the Radcliffe Camera or the Radcam. If I put like a little pic of it here, that's a really nice place to work in. I really love the Veer Hamsworth Library as well, which is kind of nice and modern. There are loads of library spots, and I've recently become interested in like working in cafes. If you know me well, you know that I'm literally abusing the free Pret subscription, so whenever I can, if I can manage to find a seat, I'll work in Pret or Costa or just another little nice cafe, just so I'm out of my room, because even though I do have like a nice study space set up, I don't want to limit myself to just studying in my room all the time, because then I won't know the difference between work and rest. So I try and work outside of my room where I can. And even within college we have some nice study spaces, and like other colleges do have nice study spaces, so I have a lot of options, but I would personally prefer to work in cafes. However, they're now shut, so it's gonna be the library for me because universities are still open. So yeah, I don't know what this energy is today, so I apologise, but if you like it, great. If not, then yeah. Next question is, how do you cope with such short terms? Do you have to catch up on work and holidays? So Oxford has 8-week terms, and that's a lot. No, that's not even a lot, that's very little in comparison to other universities who have like 12 weeks in a term. So essentially all of the work that we do is very much condensed and intense, and it can be a lot sometimes. I find myself always feeling at least a little bit stressed from time to time, but it's not anything worrying, it's natural, I guess, for me at least. But there is a lot of work to be doing. However, we do have quite long vacations, so seeing as we have very short terms, we also do have relatively longer vacations. So I use that time to just basically consolidate my knowledge and catch up on my notes that I didn't manage to get done during term. But I just try and manage my time during term anyway, just so I don't have to do like an excessive amount during my vacations when I should be like resting and revising for mock exams. So it's intense, but as long as time management is your friend, it's all good. One of my friends sent in a question saying, why does it crush my soul? And it's because I don't know, I don't even know what the answer to that is. We all banter about, you know, struggling. We're all out here struggling, so it's honestly fine. But yeah, anyway, so similar to the one before, do you have enough free time, and is it like Hogwarts? Free time, if you manage your time well, like I said before, you have a lot of choice on the things that you can and can't do. I try and work as best I can in the mornings, but in the evenings I can relax and rest. Other than that, we do have quite a few time of free time, so as long as you just balance your time well, then you have time to like do what you need to do. And is it like Hogwarts? I mean, a lot of the scenes in Harry Potter were filmed here, but it just feels, I don't know how to answer that, because I'm not particularly a big Harry Potter fan, but I guess it's very Harry Potter-y. I mean, my college, no, because Keble is just not Harry Potter vibes, but maybe other colleges, yeah, but Keble, not really. But it's all good because it's still a really beautiful college, so yeah. So someone asked, what are the things you absolutely need to do to get in? Having passion for your subject, because it will definitely be reflected in, one, your like grades to your personal statement and 3 in your interview. So as long as you have a genuine passion for your subject, then it will definitely come across that way when you apply or if you apply. So yeah. What support is there to deal with the stress intensity of the workload? There is a lot of welfare sort of resources available at uni, so whether it's college specific or university wide specific. So college specific, there are usually welfare reps, so they're your peers or just other counsellors within your college that you can go and talk to. They hold some events from time to time just to ensure that you have the resources and the facilities that you need to keep your mental health not in check, but just to, you know that you have facilities there to help you just in case you were to feel low. The university itself also has like a uni-wide counselling service, so there are a lot of things in place to help support you. Your tutors as well should be like people that you can easily turn to, and I'm quite grateful because my tutors are honestly genuinely really nice people, and they are very much understanding of a lot of issues that others may not necessarily have to experience. So for example, in first year, my last term of first year, that academically didn't necessarily go very well because I, for one, was also struggling with receiving a lot of racial hate and abuse and having to handle watching people of colour or black people, specifically black people, undergo police brutality and being shot and killed. And for me, that was a lot of emotional turmoil, a lot of mental trauma, and it reflected in my work. However, as soon as I said the words or certain words to my tutors, they were like, yeah, we understand, it's all good. So having supportive tutors, for me, one, I'm very lucky to have that, but it depends. But other than that, there are a lot of facilities and resources in place at uni. You just have to know where to turn to, and even then they usually tend to advertise them well enough for you to know who you can turn to, so that's all good. Someone asked, they wanted to know a bit more about the Oxford college system. So essentially, Oxford University as a university consists of multiple colleges, so just imagine that your college is a place where you just eat and sleep and sometimes have like small classroom, i.e. tutorials taking place. Your teachings are usually done throughout like the whole uni, so all colleges sort of intertwined. However, your college is just literally your learning space and then sort of aside from lecture space, if that makes sense. So you can choose what college you want to attend. I personally go to Keble College. Great choice for medicine. It's literally across the road. It's beautiful. The rooms are like one of the best rooms that you can have when it comes to selecting different colleges, and it's a decent proximity to the city centre. So yeah, there are a lot of there's lots of information available online about colleges and what college suits you, what facilities you may want, because essentially it's just where you'd be living for your degree. So for me, I get to live at college for 3 years, and then after like 3 years I get to move out because I need to like locate closer to the hospital for my degree. But other than that, yeah, colleges, it's a really interesting system, very unique. I think not many universities have this sort of system, but I guess it's because Oxford is quite old, so it's a tradition that's been upheld for like centuries. But yeah. And my friend again asked, why does it have to be like that? As in, why does Oxford have to be the way it is? And my answer to that is, I don't know, bro. I just don't know. Okay, next one. Is college accommodation guaranteed? This depends. This varies college to college. So for Keble, usually you'll be provided with accommodation on site for 3 years, but you do have a choice to move out. Whereas some colleges don't have the facilities to keep all their students on site for their years of their degree, so they encourage them to sort of move out to sort of student houses around Oxford. But again, it depends on what college you apply to, so you're gonna have to do your research on that. Someone asked, do you need high profile accomplishments to get in? Not necessarily. Like I said before, you just need to have a genuine passion for your subject, and that will be reflected in your grades, your personal statement, and your interviews. So actually be interested in your subject and do things that show said interest, because you can definitely interpret it or put it in your applications when they go through. But yeah. Someone asked if I did the unique summer course, the free one for year 12s. Yes, I did. So for those of you who don't know, Unique is one of the summer schools, or is a summer school that is run by Oxford to help students from potentially less advantaged areas to sort of experience what it'd be like to be an undergraduate student at Oxford. So it was in, how old am I? I think about 2018 maybe. I think it was 2018 I did the medicine course for the Unique summer school, and it was one of my favourite weeks of that summer. It really confirmed to me that I wanted to apply to Oxford because I got to experience some example lectures, did some workshops, did some practicals, did some sort of tutorial practice. So it literally is almost it replicated what I currently do now as an actual medical student at Oxford. This year I was an ambassador, so I had like roles reversed, so I was helping students who wanted to apply to do the same thing. So I personally really did enjoy it. It's a really great experience, and it just helped to let me know if Oxford was the one for me, and I guess it is, because I'm now here, yay. But yeah, if you want to consider going to Oxford or just university in general, check out Unique and see if you're eligible for applying, because it is a really good, you know, summer school that's out there to help support students who need it. Also, other than Unique, check out Target Oxbridge if you are of African and Caribbean descent, because it's also another sort of program used to help support students who want to apply to Oxbridge's university in general. So check it out, because I'm also a Target Oxbridge alumni, and I benefited a lot from the help I received from that program. So yeah. Stereotypes about colleges. If I speak, I'm in trouble. Moving on. Do you feel a lot of pressure, or is it hard to keep up with so many intelligent people around? Now, imposter syndrome is something that I suffered or struggled with for a lot of first year, because a lot of the time people sort of use this analogy. So when you leave school, you're like the big fish coming out of a small pond, and now you're a big fish trying to bite other big fishes, and you're just not used to that kind of thing. So I don't know if that actually made sense, but essentially I just, for a lot of first year, just didn't feel like I was worthy of my place here. I didn't feel smart enough. I don't feel like I needed to be here, because I underestimated my abilities, and a lot of people do tend to underestimate their abilities, and that's why a lot of people didn't necessarily feel like they could keep up with, you know, what was going on. However, you probably put on a lot of pressure on yourself more than you realize. Like, I did that to myself, and I'm the kind of person who sort of needs verbal reassurance very often to say that, okay, actually Tolu, you're not doing as bad as you think you're doing, you're actually doing all right. I.e. me thinking I wasn't going to do very well in first year yet passing my exam. So things like that, we just put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and it's expected in an environment like Oxford, because everyone is working so hard, everyone is actually very intelligent. It's very scary how intelligent some people are here, but honestly there's nothing really to worry too much about, because you got here for a reason. Like, I have to just continuously think about how my tutors specifically chose me to be here, so why should I, you know, doubt that? Let me just do what I can and just keep working at it and get to my end goal, which is to hopefully come out as a doctor. So it's natural sometimes to underestimate your abilities, but you probably are doing a lot better than you are doing, and that's just what I tell myself from time to time when I'm feeling like a little bit, you know, what on earth am I doing, blah blah blah. But other than that, it's honestly okay, and probably the person next to you is feeling the same exact thing. It's just a case of whether or not they're expressing it outwardly or not, but honestly it's fine. Next question. Is it very competitive all the time at Oxford, or do you help each other out? This is a 50-50 question, because some people are actually very nice and will help you out and are very genuine in wanting to support their peers, i.e. me. I will try my best. If I have access to something, I will give it to the rest of my medics or my friends, being like, yo, I saw this, check this out, it may be able to help you. Or if I've been set an essay and I've done it, and then one of my friends is like, oh, we just got set this essay and I'm so confused, I'll be like, oh, I've just done an essay, I'll give you a copy of my essay and they can learn from it. However, some people are not like that at all. Some medics, not even just in Oxford, medics in general are scarily competitive, and me now, I mean, applying, I was like that, but me now, what is the point? We're all gonna end up as doctors. Why are you being like this? So some people are annoyingly and unnecessarily competitive. There is no need to be that competitive. Just do your business and pass, bro. And if you can help support others along the way, fantastic, great, we're all in this together. However, oh my gosh, I've been triggered. I've actually been triggered. Some people are just not stingy. Yes, stingy. Some people are just, they just don't want to help others, and good on them. Let them not help others. But if you can, and I try and help where I can, that's why I made this channel, to help others where I can. That's why I make sure that my peers are doing all right, and I send them my notes where necessary. Just, I personally try to help and support others. Some people also do try and support others as well. And it just makes things more fun, because you're not struggling, you're working in it together. It just makes your degree a bit more like manageable. So share where you can, or just help each other where you can. There's just no need to be competitive. There's no need. Anyway, moving on. The next question is there a good social life, or is it all about academics and no social things like going out? Well, sis, we're now in lockdown, so this question is going to be very interesting to answer. But let's talk about pre-lockdown Oxford life. There is a lot that we could do in first year, in the nights or in the evenings after we've done our work. Go to a cheeky club, go and dance, go and have some fun with your friend, go to a restaurant, have a nice meal, do some sports, join society. Like, we were spoiled for choice in first year, or like just before, you know, pandemic. However, now that we're currently in lockdown, you're just stuck with your mates, which is fine, because I love my friends on my corridor. They're amazing. They've made second year so much more fun. However, as long as you like work on your timing, like I say, time management is just key. As long as you work on your timing, you'll have plenty of time to do whatever it needs that you need to do. So in the mornings I work, in the evenings I chill out and socialise with my friends, or I like to work with my friends just so when I'm not isolated. But people are spoiled for choice, and before pandemic, people were spoiled for choice in terms of things they could do for fun. You just have to know how to sort of balance your time well, just so you can like fit in all the things that you want to do, basically. So yeah. Next question is, how hectic does the work get? It can get very hectic. For my degree, it's a mix of lectures and then practicals. It's also a mix of tutorials and writing essays. Essays will take me at least 2 days to do. So a day of planning and then a day and a bit, or maybe a day and a bit of planning and then maybe less than a day of actually writing it up. And on top of that, I'd also have to watch maybe 7 to 10, maybe more lectures in a week. And on top of that, maybe go through 3 practicals. And on top of that, maybe have 2 tutorials. So if I don't manage my time well, I'm in a bit of a sticky situation, mate. But I have perfected... Where's my planner? Got a cheeky planner here. So I use this to help me structure my day in a bit more detail, just so I know exactly what I need to do and when, so I can allocate the necessary time to do the work that I need to do. However, it's easier said than done. It can be very intense, but it's just important to make sure, well, I just try and make sure that my mental health and my well-being is, you know, before I sort of continue to stress myself out even more. And one thing that my friends have noticed, and like even my tutors as well, is that my source of ranting or like expressing how I'm feeling is my Twitter account. So you can tell if I'm stressed from my tweets. It tends to be quite often, but it's expected, so I don't really take too much out of it. But other than that, it's all good. Okay, so I'm gonna answer 2 more questions. This one says, where is the most affordable place for students to eat in town? PS, love the videos. Thank you. I don't want to say this answer, but I'm gonna have to say this answer. McDonald's. But don't just use McDonald's. There are loads of food places here, loads of independent cafes, loads of like chain restaurants, blah blah blah. One of my favorites in terms for lunch is this little food place called Najjar's, which sells really nice Lebanese wraps with stuffing and then halloumi and falafel, and it's really, really nice. But there's loads of food places that are relatively inexpensive that you can go to. So yeah. And the last question I'm going to answer is, why do many, not all people at Oxford think that the uni is way harder than any other uni in the world? To be fair, the process to get into Oxbridge is, I personally think, a little bit more strenuous. I can only speak on behalf of the medics, or like from a medic perspective, because that's what I applied for. But I feel like medics anyway had to apply before October 15th, so it didn't really make much of a difference. However, for other subjects, if they wanted to apply to Oxford, they had to apply before October 15th. So I think, one, the timings to get your application done makes things a little bit more intense. 2, the need to be interviewed as well, because you have to sort of go through a long, vigorous process of being interviewed and being asked questions about your degree to make sure that you're sort of like, not worthy of being there, but whether or not your tutors would appreciate teaching you in the future. So that in itself, medics don't worry, because medics have interviews everywhere anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But for other subjects, being interviewed at just this college, it's like, it's a lot more tailoring your personal statement in a way that's very, very academic. Like, there's just so much thought that needs to be put into a personal statement, because you have to express the academic side of things more than you do like the social side of things, which is what you can do for other universities, but Oxford and Cambridge and like just Oxbridge, they just really focus on the academics. So it's just a case of tailoring your personal statement and your application to be so specific to, you know, tailor to their standards, which to some could be a lot harder, but I don't know, it's just, it is what it is. Don't really know what more to say to that, but it's just a really long process. It's just very intimidating, and I think it's just because of the reputation that the universities have, that people feel like it's really intense, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's what it is. But I think I'm gonna leave the video here. I've hopefully answered some questions all right, but yeah, stay tuned for the medic version of this video. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.